not started quilting this quilt yet. Last time when we're live and I was quilting one of my unfinished quilts, I got started on it, but it has been a busy week, so I haven't even started on it. I just actually got it basted together today, so I'm just gonna kind of get to the middle and start working. But if you are curious, this pattern is kind of like a jelly roll race, but I called it Fallon's Fat Quarter Race. I used fat quarters for this, and I varied the size of the strips to just kind of give it more interest. So there is a free pattern on my channel for this. I did post it to the community board, so you can see it there. And I think I put it in the description as well if you haven't watched that before. So I'm just going to straight line quilt this, keep it simple because I have a lot of quilts to finish.
But you've already finished, what, 5 this month?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have done really well so far, and I have some others basted that I can finish as well. So hopefully I get some more done. I'm just going to straight line quilt this the same way kind of that I did last time, but my husband had suggested instead of evenly spacing them all, to use the different lines on the ruler and, you know, do one space apart and then 2 and kind of go back and forth to vary it. So we're going to see how that looks today doing it that way.
Oh, so you're finally gonna...
I'm finally gonna listen to you.
Only took 20 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something you suggest finally.
Yay! It's my lucky day, people.
And then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't look good, I can blame you.
That's true. That's definitely how this is gonna go.
No, I'm sure it'll look fine.
I think it will too, as long as you don't mess up.
Yeah, as long as I do it right. It probably
you just got to remember which line and spacing you're on.
I know, that's going to be hard while on here doing everything. And just hi to all of you in chat. I know my husband tries to keep up with it all, but I don't have the chat up for me. Usually I keep it up right beside me, but it can be hard to keep up with that and what I'm doing and everything else. But we appreciate you being here. My husband will, if there's any questions, he'll let me know. So just a heads up on that.
Yes, and I do my best to get around to everyone. Just as a FYI and FYI, there is a giveaway tonight. We were in the process of trying to better organize our assembly area, and we found a 14-inch Slidelock that I had printed the logo on upside down.
So it's a fun, quirky one, a special one. There's not many like it out there.
There are 5 others that we sold a couple months ago, and apparently there was a 6th, and I just had hidden it. So it's a 14-inch Slidelock. It's functional, and it works just like all the others. It's just that the logo is upside down. So it's one of 6 that exist in the planet, and that is what we are giving away. So there is a Google form to sign up that is in the description of the live. Click on that, fill out I think there's 4 questions, and we will do a random drawing at some point during the show. You have to be in the chat in order to have your number picked. So, or to win, rather. I'm not sure if the system actually can tell. But if we announce that you have won, and we'll give you 3 minutes, and if you don't respond, then we will have to move on to the next person.
And it kind of works out really nicely to do the giveaway this month because I hit 30,000 subscribers this month, which was really exciting. So it kind of lines up well with celebrating that
too. Yep. That's funny, Nancy. Hello, Janice, and to everyone else. Like, I apologize. I do my best to keep up, but I'm sure I've missed some people because my dog is resting his head on my leg, begging me to pet him. And he likes eye contact when you pet him because he's weird. So I've been looking at him as opposed to the chat. Here, up. Say hi. Can you say hi to everyone?
He does his best saying hi, but we haven't quite got him trained to do that yet.
High five. No, it's too late because you got your paws stuck. That's okay. Here, look over here. Look. No, not me. Let me camera.
Unless you wave a treat, he's not looking over there.
Yeah. Chad, I got a treat. See, look over here. Now he's like, no, you're tricking me.
Yeah, now he's gonna be like bummed out.
Yeah. Let's see. So I obviously we're having a weird weather pattern. It's weird. So yesterday we got down into like the low teens.
Well, overnight it got down like.
Oh, we got into single digits. Didn't
Yeah.
But tomorrow we're going to be in the 70s. So, hey, check that out. I don't understand how weather works. Honestly, I don't think weathermen do because they always get it wrong. So maybe it's one of those great uncertains. But it's been... So we lived in the Midwest, from Michigan, and we have no problem with the cold weather. But when you live in somewhere like Texas or Southeast Texas specifically, where cold almost never happens, it becomes such a bleep show when it gets that cold because people don't know how to drive when it's cold. Like, we didn't get a lot of ice, but there were exponentially more accidents than are normal because people... I have a feeling that everyone in Texas is a bad driver, and I apologize if you're in Texas, but it's true. But it's, you had people that were out on the roads when it had rained and it was 14 degrees, and they were going 80 miles an hour on the freeway and expecting that not to be a problem. So there was a bunch of accidents. My daughter and her best friend were going to a soccer practice, and it took them over an hour to go 3 miles because there were so many accidents that traffic was just completely backed up.
Yeah, but so they were not driving themselves. The best friend's father was driving them. We weren't letting them drive
No.
in that kind of weather without a lot of experience driving yet. So
Yeah. Hello, everyone that just joined. Looks like I missed Janelle. So Janelle, welcome. Quilt Queen, Teresa Louise.
And if you're hopping in, there is a giveaway. The form is in the description of the video.
Yes. Susan, don't worry. There's no need to apologize for being tardy. We were tardy many times. So, yeah, it's the weather's been an interesting thing.
Everywhere, it seems, though. A lot of people...
Yeah, well, I was telling Sean earlier that yesterday, and it may have even been this morning also, but we've lived so many places that on my weather app on my phone, I keep all of the cities that we've lived in just because I like checking up on it. And yesterday, and I believe this morning, it was colder here in Southeast Texas and Houston area than it was in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Like, we were significantly colder, which makes no sense because, it's Ann Arbor, Michigan. So...
I forgot that shadow wasn't under my feet
No.
anymore, so I could move up because
You can
I was
move.
sitting farther back than I normally do. He
Yeah.
really likes to sit right under my feet when he comes up here. Like,
It's because he loves you so much.
well, that's fine, but it makes it really hard to sew.
He has a weird foot fetish, I guess.
Well, and he looks at you all offended if you
If you try and move him, yeah. He's like, look, this is my area. You
It's
need to
very
adjust
comfy.
to me. Yeah. So Gigi says they're in Mississippi and they got 6 or 7 inches of snow. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I don't think we got snow. It was like
There
this
was some
sleety
snow.
mix. Yeah.
There was like snow on people's roofs. And
Nothing impressive.
No, not. I mean, like 2 years ago, or no, 3 years ago, 2021, we got like a foot of snow, and that was ridiculous for this area. But yeah, like the last couple days, it's been maybe an inch or two, and then obviously the sun comes out and it goes away. But definitely not anything like we experienced in Michigan. Yeah, Nancy, that's essentially how it is here, very infrequently. But yeah, we can have, I think tomorrow there's like a 40-degree swing in the weather from the low to the high. There was a 31-degree swing today. I mean, it's just weird how the weather can go back and forth. And then later on in the week, there's like a 5-degree swing. So,
And it's supposed to rain for a few days straight.
I know,
which
but we'll be back in the 60s at that point, so at least it won't be snowy and icy, where people don't know how to drive. Yeah, Claudia, there a lot of people around here didn't work. I know my daughter's best friends. She goes to a public school, and they didn't have school Monday for sure. I don't know if they had school on Tuesday. I don't think they did.
Well, they
but I
didn't
don't
have
know.
school Monday because it was a holiday, and then Tuesday they didn't have school because
That's
of
right.
the weather.
Okay, so they didn't have school.
But
on Monday
I
or
think they
Tuesday.
did today.
Okay. So Rebel, that is or Rebel Rose Laren. I don't really know what to call you. I'm gonna call you Rebel. So we've had a couple people ask about a 1.5 inch trim lock. The problem with that is the handles we use are 2 inches wide. So the smallest trim lock we can make is 2 inches, because if we made an 1.5 inches, the handle would get in the way of your rotary trim. So
Yeah, it's even kind of cutting it close with the 2 inch. Nobody has complained, but it's really close.
yeah, and I looked into trying to find smaller handles, and while 2 inches what we use now, 1.5 inches, while it doesn't sound like a lot, is actually, like, from a hand feel, it's significantly smaller. So I just haven't found a handle from a company that makes them in America that I am willing to use. So unless and until I can find a handle that would make it feasible to do a 1.5 inch, I won't be able to, because I don't want anyone to, mess up while they're cutting because the handle's in the way.
Or cut your finger.
Yeah, well, definitely don't want that. So Yorkie Mom is asking on the straight line quilt lock, which my wife is using, if you can drill a hole in the acrylic to hang it up. So it's a tricky question. The answer is yes, but acrylic is an incredibly tricky material to drill. So you would need to use a very particular bit. It needs to be a plastic or acrylic bit. And I would not do it with a handheld drill. You would actually need to use a drill press. And if you do, it needs to be 200 to 300 RPM max. If you go anything above that, it'll actually start to melt the acrylic, which can cause fissures and cracks, and then it'll break. So,
So did she get one?
I assume so.
I just wonder how she's liking it. It's helping me get these done so much faster.
So that's the best advice I can give you, Yorkie Mom, is you can totally drill into it. You just need to make sure you use the right drill bit, you use the right speed, which is no more than 300 RPM, and you go very slow, and don't go anywhere near the edges, because, again, it'll fracture. Okay, I gotta catch back up here now. Let's see.
And that right there is why it takes so long for us to make these and test them and all that. So
Right.
we're definitely not wanting to make it like when stuff goes out of stock. I know it gets frustrating because everybody wants them back in. Like you're showing gonna show one of the things today, but like he is meticulous at everything he makes. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I wish I could produce more faster, but if they're not right, then I don't use them. And it sucks because the other day I was drilling a bunch of the acrylic bases for the Slidelocks, and I messed up on several of them, and I had to toss them out, which is really annoying. But I don't want them to crack, and I don't want them to be problematic. And even me, who I'm very experienced in drilling acrylic, I still make mistakes, and it's frustrating. But it is what it is. Only so much you can do. Let's see. So Phoenix is going to be in the mid-70s the next several days. Exactly. We're coming from extreme cold to shorts and t-shirt weather. Oh, hey Chris. Chris is here. Hi Chris.
Hi Chris.
And Debbie. A lot of people. I'm just trying to catch up. 8 inches of snow in Middle Tennessee. That's ridiculous.
I bet all their roads close down too, then, probably.
Yeah, I think Tennessee gets more snow than we do, but that's not normal. Oh yeah, I get it, Rebel. She's doing a pattern that calls for 500 1.5-inch squares.
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah.
want one too.
Yeah. Let me I've thought about it would be a totally different design. There are some handles that look like, I mean, you see them on like kitchen cabinets. They're like little knobs.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
will. Those come in a 1-inch size. Those could work. I don't know how expensive they are, and I don't know if I can find someone who makes them in America, but that could work because that would work for a 1.5-inch. I'll have to look around, Rebel, and see if I can find something.
Do you think I should go all the way to 4 inches apart or stop at 3?
I would stop at 3.
And then start over?
Yeah. So I'd go 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, so I don't remember who it was that talked about that movie on Netflix,
The Flight?
No.
The Lift?
No, the where
the
the
with
world
Julia Roberts?
Yeah. The end of the world or where the world ends or something. I can't remember what it's called, so that wasn't really helpful. But I watched it and I thought it was really interesting up until the ending, and I was very disappointed because I really wanted clear answers about what happened. And movies like that really, really bug me when there's not like a definite ending. So I looked up, I Googled to see what people thought about the ending, and there really wasn't. It was all like speculation too of what the end meant, but.
Yeah, I get it that they're trying to be edgy, but like I don't want to have to think about what happens when the movie ends. Like I just want to know. Like I'm selfish. I don't want to sit there and have to think. Like Lost was a great TV show until it ended, and then there's 8 different conspiracy. Well, maybe not conspiracy, but 8 different theories as to what really happened. That's too much for me. I just want to know. Yeah. Spell it out for me. Say this was all a dream, or this did in fact. Like I don't want to think about it. I don't watch TV to think.
We did really like the new movie Lift, though. That's what that's called.
With Kevin Hart on Netflix. Good movie. It's a great, easy movie to watch, and I thought it was good. And I thought actually he did a very good job in a unique-ish role for him. So somebody has asked a couple questions. Carrie, you asked if the ruler that my wife is using is thick enough to use with the ruler foot. Yes, it's a 1/4-inch thick acrylic. So, have you used it with the ruler foot?
I have a ruler foot. I haven't used it with it yet. Because I've just been doing the straight lines, so I just line it up along the side of the walking foot, and it just helps me keep the stitches straight without having to mark anything. Or on this one, I probably could follow seams a lot, but I'm not going right against the seams, so this is easier since I'm varying the spaces. But I have used I don't have one over here. Before my husband made me this one with the straight lines, I used the flying geese one with the ruler foot to make stars in a quilt.
And they're made out of the same exact material.
Yeah, so it worked fine with that one.
And then Judy, yes, you can use them on a long arm because they are just as thick as your typical long arm template. So they will work for that as well. Oh, that sucks, Debbie. Debbie's guild meeting tomorrow is canceled. I presume because of the weather. Yeah, she said they received a large snowfall. That's annoying. Yeah, it's funny too. Like when we lived in the Midwest, like you get a foot of snow and it's like no big deal. School doesn't close. The only time schools closed up there was when the wind chill got like into -10, because that's obviously not safe for the children, especially if you're waiting for a bus. But yeah, you live in a Midwestern state. Like snow means nothing, but you live in the South or places that don't get a lot of snow, and then entire society shuts down. And it's just such a foreign concept because you live in a place where nothing ever shuts down because they're used to it. And it was weird too because as a result of what happened in 2021 here, where we got like feet of snow. Right before it got really cold here, the Texas Department of Transportation said they were going all the major roads to prepare them for the freeze, which I assume meant they used salt or something, but people still got into a ton of accidents. Very frustrating, especially if you're trying to go anywhere.
Well, I think part of the problem may have been that we didn't have any forecast of there being like any precipitation. So I kind of think they probably weren't prepared
Maybe.
for that.
And I don't know if it's unique to places that don't get a lot of snow, or inclement weather like this. The day before we started to get really bad weather, I had to go to the store to grab some stuff. It was a butcher, so he was busy. I got there right when he opened because he's usually busy, but it was so busy there that the parking lot was literally full and people were having to park on side streets and walk over to his shop, which I had never seen before. And when I came home, we live in the middle of nowhere, and this butcher shop's in a town. It's in a small town, but it's in a town. But driving there, I literally drive through like 6 or 7 different farms. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere driving there. And there's a random gas station that's off the side of the road, and I stopped in there to get a particular drink for my son. And I was in line. Mind you, this is a gas station that's in the middle of nowhere. The only way you come upon it is if you're on a back road, because it's on a back road. And there were like 20 people in there buying beef jerky and beer and chips and literally every snack they could have. And mind you, it's a gas station, so they don't have cars. There were people like with their arms like this full of stuff, and I'm like, we're gonna get 2 days of freezing weather. Like, calm the F down. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, they had to go there because the stores were already cleared
Yeah,
out.
it was
Like,
just
people were posting pictures. There's nothing.
It's like you tell people it's going to get to 20 degrees and they don't know what to do with themselves. It was ridiculous.
I get prepping for a hurricane because you don't know how long you can be without stuff, but this was silly.
Yeah, bye, Linda. Have fun at work. Well, I'm glad you got a new machine, Carrie, but that sucks that you had to wait for another. Yeah, I mean, I remember, what was it, 6 years ago in Georgia, in Atlanta, where, like, they literally...
they were all stuck on that.
Yeah, because they don't have, ice trucks. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Lord Lenny. In Texas, most people cannot drive, period, when it's perfect weather. And then you throw in ice and snow, and it just gets ridiculous. Debbie, that is unfair to share with the group if you're not actually going to bring the cinnamon buns to the show. She just pulled cinnamon buns out of the oven.
I can smell that.
I
It
know.
smells great.
This is like one of the best smells ever, is nice fresh cinnamon buns.
I forgot to take my allergy pill, and I'm about to be sneezy.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Do you need me to go get you one?
So, my allergies have been...
No need to apologize.
Well, apparently you offended Siri by saying that.
No,
If you guys didn't hear it, my wife's Apple Watch just went off, and Siri said that there was no reason or no need for my wife to apologize. I don't know what we said to offend her, but apparently we did.
Well, I sneezed and then said I was sorry. But my allergies have been so bad lately. But there's only one pill that I can take that really, really helps. And I'm only supposed to take it every 24 hours. But as soon as it wears off, it is like I just turn into a sneezing mess. I'll try to hold back and take it when we're done.
Peggy wants to know how you're keeping the backing from moving.
I have pins.
She has a
all
bunch
the
of
layers.
safety pins that she has in there right now.
I don't think I pinned it that great. I've been taking them out and moving it. I kind of rushed a little bit much to get this ready.
Bobbing with Brittany says they've been iced in and she secretly enjoys that her family finally cleaned out old snacks from the pantry. Yeah, we try to every couple of months go through our pantry and throw out stuff because you just know there's stuff in there that's expired. And apparently we don't do a very good job because when we did that a couple weeks ago, there was stuff in there that expired in like 2022 and like February of 2022.
See, that's the problem is whenever we look at a new house, whether we were renting or now when we bought this one, for example, there are a few things that I really care about. One is the layout of the kitchen because we cook a lot. and I always would look and see if the pantry was large enough. Now I'm like, we should look for smaller pantries so we don't fill it and like forget what's even in there.
Yeah, although I don't think we did a great job because our pantry's very large, and that's part of the problem. Is you can get 3 people in there, and there's shelves and there's deep shelves, and so like there's stuff behind stuff, and then when we literally took everything out, cleaned all the shelves, and then went one by one, and that's when we found so much stuff, and it was silly.
It was a mess.
So, hi Becca, Becca's here.
Hey Becca.
Okay, so we have several questions, and we might as well, I see some people answering them. So we'll start with the first, which is, what is your least favorite household chore? I think I know what yours is, but what is it?
Cleaning the bathroom.
Oh, I was to say the floors.
You always say that, like, because we always have that question in those games we play. What is it called?
I don't know.
That new game that we got. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, like every time, and you're like, the floors.
That's because every time you wash the floors or clean
Every
the
time
floors,
I clean anything, I complain
well, that's
about
true.
it.
But you literally say that cleaning the floors is like your
It
least favorite
just
thing.
takes so long, and then as soon as we let the dog out, it's a mess again.
Yeah, well, it's because he runs on the
Oh
property
man,
and he
I
comes back.
accidentally cut the thread.
Why would you do that?
Because you're talking to me. Stop talking.
My least favorite household chore.
You don't have any hush.
I take out the garbage. I'd say folding laundry. I hate folding laundry.
Oh, I sewed this whole thing without bobbin thread. Good lord.
You playing bobbin chicken again?
Yeah.
Why?
It's gonna be one of those days.
So Carrie doesn't like laundry. Guess Nancy's with you. She doesn't like cleaning the bathroom. York mom same. Cleaning the shower. Yeah, that's an annoying one.
Because there's no good way to clean it without getting soaking wet.
Yeah. Yeah, we have our shower is actually quite large, and so it's 10 feet tall where all the tile goes, so that's the whole thing. And then getting into all the crevices where the corners are, and it's no fun.
And you can't turn the way they designed our shower head. Like, you can't turn it in a way where you're not getting soaked if you're trying to rinse it out or anything.
Well, you just use the other shower head. There's 2 in there.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Well, that's why you get wet. That one you can move around.
Well, I guess you're gonna have to clean the shower now
That's
and
not
show
what I
me
said.
how
No,
you do
we're all
this
done
with
Let's see. Spring cleaning, bathrooms.
I'm just not a big fan of cleaning. I feel like it gets in the way of doing stuff that's actually fun.
Yeah. Someone wants to know. Excuse me. Let me find it here. Oh, Carrie Quilt says she thinks she likes your shirt, but she wants to know what all of it says.
Oh, my mom sent it to me for Christmas. What does it even say? Touch my sewing machine.
I will slap you so hard. Even
Google won't be able to find you.
touch my
I couldn't
sewing
read it upside
machine,
down,
and I
so
will slap you
let's
so
see.
hard that even Google won't be able to find
I
you.
think you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be able to now. Mary G, that's a genius idea, rotating front to back, but we're too lazy to do that.
What?
When anytime they bind you food, they rotate their food in the
Oh,
pantry. So
yeah,
they put
that
the new stuff
will
in the night.
not
Yeah,
happen.
that's never going to happen. in
It's
this
like
house.
one of those things, like, it's the same concept of me telling myself when I cut fabric for a quilt, whatever's left over, I will cut down into usable pieces as scraps or keep my scraps organized. Like, it's all a good idea in theory, but I am too lazy to actually do it.
Yeah, that's just... It's a great idea, but we're realistic and that's not going to happen.
We're lucky if we get our stuff put away right when we get home.
Yeah.
Like, the cold stuff goes in and, like, anything else gets left on the counter for a while.
Yeah. Carrie says now that she knows what the rest of it says, she likes it more. Did your mom make it or did she buy it somewhere?
No, she bought it. I'll have to ask her so I can post somewhere.
A lot of people don't like dusting. I don't mind dusting, but I also don't seem to be affected by like particulates in the air. Like I don't sneeze when I dust, and it doesn't bother me. But I know it's a big problem.
Mess.
I know.
Whenever.
You definitely are. Full stop. We don't need to. We don't need to say anything else. You just
Not
are.
just about dusting.
Yeah. That's ingenious, Tracy. Again, I wish I had time to do something like that, but
I like watching on. I don't know what it was about, but on TikTok, people share like how they keep their fridge and all their pantry and refilling stuff and making it look all nice. And I'm like, see, I think it looks like a great idea, but I'm like, that has to be your hobby. Like, you can't have another hobby and be able to do all that.
yeah.
Like, being organized has to be a hobby in and of itself, because I don't know how you do that in something else.
Donna says her husband tried dusting with a hairdryer once. So I can almost guarantee you, Donna, that's something I would do when I would know that it would piss my wife off, so that I could get relieved of my duty. So your husband's a mad genius.
You're just like, stop.
Yeah.
Just let me do it.
That's hilarious. I'm surprised I haven't thought of that. So our second question is, I guess maybe I'll reiterate. There is a giveaway. The link to the form to enter is in the show notes. The I don't know, what do you call it?
The description.
The description of the video. It's a Google form. There's 4 questions. It's very easy. It is for a 14-inch Slidelock. There's nothing wrong with it other than I accidentally put the logo upside down. So it's right side up if you hold it upside down, but that is the only difference between this and all of the others. There's 5 other out there in the world, so this is one of 6. The other 5 we sold a couple months ago, and we were cleaning out our assembly room and found that we had a 6th one. And there it is. So it is a giveaway. Make sure to enter on the Google form and be in the chat room when we do the drawing, which will be at some point soon, so that you can win your 14-inch Slidelock.
So if you are trying to work on, because a few people said they're going to try to work on their unfinished projects this year, let us know your progress that you've made on them. Have you got any finished? Have you gotten a lot done on any that you were working on?
Oh, hey, Ian. I didn't see you come in, but I've seen people talking to you, so you must be here. And welcome, Selena. She just found us from Australia. So, Selena, you should talk to Sean, the guy who sews. He is from Australia, and he still has his accent.
You would probably like his channel, too, if you haven't checked it out.
I guess I'll show this, and it's probably a bit early, but I finally had an opportunity, and I got the wood for it.
I'm going to let the dog...
Oh, okay. To make the paper piecing tray, at least that's what we're calling it. You can use it for anything. I'll try and get a close-up here. But it is a new tray that has 2 slots, 2 tray slots, and then 3 for tools. And this idea was actually inspired by or requested by Becca. So Becca, who I believe is still in the chat, for her. So we've made a bunch of these. They'll be available in cherry wood, maple. So cherry, walnut, zebra wood, which is what this one is, and purple heart. And they'll be available next week. After I make them, there's magnets that go here to hold your pins and such, and I have to epoxy the magnets in, and that takes several days to cure so that they're properly set. So I can't sell any right now, but they will be available next week, and I'll probably make that announcement next live. But this is what they look like. This is the zebra wood, and it'll be zebra wood, purple heart, cherry, and walnut that'll be available. I was like sitting in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, I need to talk about this," and I forgot.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people ask when those larger ones will become available. So.
So Rebel has completed 2 of her 64. That's awesome.
Nice.
Ian has way too many projects trying to juggle. He does like juggling balls, so he's very good at that.
Oh gosh.
Judy got 2 unfinished projects done. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, a quilt and a quilted jacket. That's awesome. I love quilted
I
jackets.
want to make one of those.
Selena does actually. She follows Sean, and apparently they're both from the same town.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is pretty cool. Jonas says, now we know who let the dogs out. Yes, Ian, getting wood is a good thing. I agree.
You guys are too much when you guys...
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Let's see. 2 sides. So Anna has 2 sides done on binding her first finish for 2024. And starting the kit so she can cut tomorrow and have that pulled. That's awesome. Dolores has 5 quilts ready to quilt.
Nice.
Sounds like.
Do you long arm them or do you quilt them on a domestic? I'm always curious by that.
Pat Boo has finished 1 and she has 3 to go. Good for you, Pat, only having 3 to go. That's awesome.
I like how you pointed that out.
You still have like 7.
I think 68 maybe?
You had what, 70?
74.
74, she had 69. Hear that, Ian? She has 69 to go. What? It's a fact.
No, because this one's basically done.
Well, until it's finished, it doesn't count. Donna's got 2 ready for the long arm. So here's an interesting question. For those who either have a long arm or who use a long arm because they are able to make time on one, do you prefer long arm quilting? Do you prefer using a domestic machine? Are there some quilts that you will only do on one or the other? I'm curious to know, because I know like you've experimented with a long arm, and maybe it's because you just don't have as much experience, but it seems like you are much more efficient at doing this than you would be.
But I can't do anything fancy. I think like I'd probably, on this one, since it's just like straight lines, if I knew how to use a long arm well, I'd probably do like a fun wavy, design on it. Something like feathers or something like that to just give more interest on it. But I just can't do that free motion yet. I keep practicing. Maybe I can get there, but...
Dolores says she free motion quilts on her machine, which is the same as yours.
Yeah, I got a little better at it. I just wouldn't do anything this big yet. Like, I'd usually do that on wall hangings or something smaller, like a table runner size. I think I need one more.
A lot of people are long arm fans. Jean says that she does all 3, long arm, domestic, and hand, and she prefers hand quilting, but obviously long arm is much faster.
I have a quilt that I started hand quilting like 4 years ago that I need to finish. That's one that is my goal, like in my stack of 12 that I am going to make sure I finish this year. So I need to finish hand quilting.
Jonna wants to know, she says she's never used Minky to back a quilt. Do you use batting or just the Minky?
I think that would just be a preference on how thick you want it to be. I would put batting between it and just feel it and see if you like it. When I think I only made 2 quilts that were baby quilts with Minky on the back, and I put batting in both of them because I wanted it to be thick and fluffy, but I think it also feels nice without it.
So okay, maybe this is the doctorate in me. Maybe this is the fact that I'm a professor and I make everyone do good grammar. And this is not necessarily directed at you, Ian, but like it grinds my gears when people say that they're bougie and they use it in a way as to say they're like bougie is a short form of bourgeois, which is literally the common folk. So if you say that you're too bougie, it means you're too common for something. So I don't know where in
Don't
the
feel
recent
bad,
history.
Ian. Like our daughter was saying that for the longest time, and every
Yeah.
time she would get a lesson from him on what the origin of it is.
Yeah, like bougie is not fancy. Bougie is literally like common or lower class. It's like how it became a term that resulted in.
I think
people
it was
thinking
from a
it's
song.
Oh well, that does not surprise me. I've met several recording artists, and none of them have been questioned with their intelligence. The first law firm I worked at, we had an office in Nashville, and they did a lot of recording stuff, not just country music, but apparently Nashville, obviously home of country music, but there are a lot of artists that do other types of music that use BMG or other these large firms which are based in Nashville, and they're not necessarily the smartest people. That's not true. They may be very smart. They're not very eloquent. I'll say that.
I think it's just because it sounds fun.
I don't care if it sounds fun. It's just wrong. And you can all see now why my students either love me or hate me. They love it because I tell them how to write properly, or they hate it because they're like, what the heck? I don't want to try this hard. To which I say, that's why you got an F. Tell that to Urban Dictionary, Ian says. Ian, I don't believe that the Urban Dictionary is an accurate representation of the dialogue that we should be using. But I understand your point.
I feel like you say a lot of things that are from there.
From Urban Dictionary, yeah. But that's not a conversation for today. So it seems like a lot of people use their domestic machine either because they don't have a long arm or not. Yeah, Donna says it was definitely from a song.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really up on all the music these days, but I'm pretty sure that was Lorelei's defense when she said it a lot.
Okay. Nonplussed. Donna says it's why bougie is one of those words like nonplussed that people always use wrong. If you have, okay, so Jill has a question. She says, if you have a straight stitch machine, do you miss zigzag or other decorative stitches? And so this is a straight stitch machine.
Yeah. I don't, because on the other machine that I had all of them and never used them. So I do have another machine that if I do need to use a zigzag stitch or something for a project, I can get it out and use it, but
Where is your Bermuda?
it's just right
okay.
there in the case for it. So personally, I have probably only had, since I've had this machine for 2 or 3 years now, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So I think I've only got that machine out once to use one of those stitches. So yeah, I just don't use them that often.
Yeah, there's a lot of words. Hence is a good one, Alexandra, that people use. There's also words that people make up. Like irregardless is not a word, so don't use it. Oh man, I used to have a list of things that people would say so that I could share it with my students and say, hey, don't use these words. But I don't recall what I did with that list.
Literally gets used wrong a lot.
Literally gets used wrong all the time. So does figuratively also. It's like people just don't understand what those words mean? Another question, and I'm going to skip around here. So what is your favorite color? My favorite colors are maize and blue, which should surprise no one, especially because we just won the national championship. Aside from that, though, crimson is probably my other favorite color, and I don't remember why or how. It has nothing to do with University of Alabama. It's just crimson is the color. But when I was a child, I somehow came across the color crimson. I think I probably liked the name. The color's great too. But way back in 1992, when AOL started becoming something that you could actually use, my initial screen name had the word crimson in it because I liked it. So that was my email address and my AOL username for a very long time.
Isn't that like a college football team?
Yeah, it's the University of Alabama, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah. But it had nothing to do with that. I was like 6 or 7, or I don't remember how old I was when I first came in college. I need to know about Alabama football. So, good job, Ian. Good job. Let's see. A lot of green. Green, pink, red, green, maroon.
So my favorite color is probably lavender.
Yeah, you're a big lavender fan.
But for fabric, it's probably blue, though.
That's sweet, Carrie. She likes yellow, but it's because it was her grandmother's favorite. I would say green is the plurality here, which I think is...
So since my favorite color is lavender, but probably with fabric I gravitate more towards blue, I wonder if that's the case with anyone else too. Like, is your favorite color purchasing fabric different than your actual favorite color?
Yorkie Mom, she is using 3 on her machine for stitch length. There are 7 total options, and she's in the exact middle stitch length. Does this relate to millimeters or inches? Or
I don't know.
I don't think it does. But she's using 3 as the stitch length on a Juki TL 2010Q.
Asking me something about math and numbers is just silly. That's silly.
Turquoise, teal, purple. A lot of purple. My wife's favorite colors are purple shades. Favorite color, Rebel's favorite fabric color is black. But brown and pink are her favorite colors.
I've really liked using black as a background color a lot recently.
Oh, I like Gina. I like how Jean rolls. She says her favorite is red, but her signature color is turquoise. I want a signature color. Mine would probably be crimson because I bleed all the time because I cut myself or chop a finger off.
Yeah, what did you do? Like, the other day you came in
and
you were touching something and you're like, oh, now there's blood on it.
Oh, yeah,
and
I was
like,
refilling
you didn't even know you were bleeding.
I was refilling my water thing here, and it had blood all over it. I'm like, how'd that happen? And my fingers were bleeding. But I'm in the shop.
That was probably from dry skin, though, from how cold it was.
No, I actually had a cut on my hand. I just don't know what it came from. But when I'm in my shop, I'm dealing with basically laser cut drill bits that are sharp as heck, and if you just glance against them, they'll cut your hand. So, Terry says she doesn't have a particular favorite color, but she loves the fall color palette.
Oh, I do too, yeah.
If I had to choose a palette based on seasons, I'd probably go with spring because there's a lot of pastels, and I like pastels. But I do love fall colors. Like, that's my favorite time of the year if I live somewhere where you can actually see fall colors. Oh, yeah, so Yorkie has the same machine. So she's using 3, so presumably 3 on her machine should be the same as yours. So Judy, funny story. When I was in high school, there was a kid there was a particular shade of yellow, and I don't remember what it was called, but for the entirety of high school, he wore an article of clothing that had that particular shade of yellow every single day, all day, the entire time of high school. And it was amazing because it was a unique color of yellow. It was not like your basic just yellow that you could find, but it was either shoes, a hat. Well, it couldn't really be a hat. Shoes, armband, shirt, pants, you name it. But he somehow had different pieces of clothing that all had that same color. I don't know if his like family owned like a textile company, which is how he got it. But it was every day for, whatever, 190 days of school for 4 years. It was the same color. It was amazing. And it was his thing. It was great.
Hunter, remember when he went through that phase where he had to have orange?
Orange everything? Yeah.
Something, he had to be wearing something that had orange. He wasn't like that strict where it had to be a particular shade or color of orange, but like he wanted orange on it in some way. That's
true. I don't want to know where they come from. Let's see. Ian says he doesn't know where his bruises come from, and Debbie said they come from falling down. She got you good, Ian. Oh, it's funny. Let's see.
Everyone knows how clumsy he is.
Yes. Okay, so final question of the night, which is one of my favorites. And be as creative as possible. Money's not an object, and physical limitations of the space that you live in are not an object. If you could have any pet in the entire world that is actually, like, you can't say T-Rex because they're not around anymore.
Why not? That takes the fun.
Unless, like, you work for InGen and you know something I don't. But what living creature today would you like to have as a pet if you could have anything in the world? And I just asked that, and then we got a question. Selena, the ruler that she is using is called a straight line quilt lock, and we make it and sell it in our store, and I will give you a link to it if you are interested. So what about you, Ben? I know you don't really like pets, but if you could have any pet in the world, what would it be?
I want to live out on like 1 billion acres and have a guard lion.
Okay. That's not what I was expecting, but I like it.
I'm prepping for, like, I'm going to become a prepper.
And the lion is going to be...
It's going to help maintain our property when people come looting.
Okay. I mean, if you're going to go for that, like, I don't want a polar bear. I don't know what animal is, like, the polar bear is the apex predator. A polar bear would destroy a lion if they got together. There's no chance.
Nobody else is going to have a polar bear.
That's,
My lion
that's
will
a
be
better
fine.
reason to have one. We're the only ones with one. There's what Mike Tyson. No, Mike Tyson had a tiger.
Well, then maybe I need to. I don't know enough about animals to know. No, I really don't know.
Oh, so here we go. So Judy wants a Bengal cat. So sort of similar. Another dachshund for Sean. I didn't know you had dogs, Sean. That's awesome. A red heeler, an African gray parrot, a mini golden doodle, a shark. Okay, so for shark, what kind of shark? What species, Jill? We going tiger? We going great white? We going whale?
Did you see where I got
It went over there. I'm just curious what type of shark. Panda bear. I don't know for sure.
I've heard they are vicious.
Yeah, I've heard they are vicious animals. Now, if it's a pet, maybe you can train it. I heard of one. My kids told me about it that knew kung fu and like beat a bunch of other animals up. That's a movie. So that was a bad joke. I get it.
Dad joke.
Sloth. Okay, sloth would be kind of fun. White tiger. A monkey. Again, lots of different types of monkeys. A little dog. A wombat. A black panther. Tracy says no pets. So Selena says a monkey or a bear. Okay, I'll give you that. A lion for Soteri.
Bears just look so cuddly to me. Like they just
do,
don't
but they're
seem
dangerous
like.
as shit.
Well, I know that.
Oh no, Carrie lost her bobbin chicken. So
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I knew too because I got another bobbin ready. I checked before I started and said to myself, you are going to only do a few lines and then change it, and then I didn't. I should have just switched it out altogether.
So Debbie wants a German Shepherd. So that's my answer, Debbie. I would love. So I was raised with German Shepherds. My kids and my wife have allergies, which is why we have a Labradoodle because he's more or less hypoallergenic. But even then, if he goes and rolls around on the property and comes in, they all sneeze. So like, I can't even imagine what a German Shepherd would do. They wouldn't be able to breathe. Why are you going so fast?
I don't know. It's just like, I guess I just press down harder.
So the German Shepherd would be an option. Would be my answer. Although if we're going like crazy end of times, I'm going polar bear for sure. No questions. My polar bear will destroy your life all day long.
Well, that movie that someone said in the chat, what is that? You should look up what the name of it is because I keep mentioning it. That was kind of like an end of times thing. So that's what's on.
That's what's on your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
John Sheridan wants Great Danes. I love Great Danes. My biggest problem with Great Danes, and I guess German Shepherd isn't really all that much better, but like you're lucky to get 8 years out of them, right? And that sucks because you have to get a new one, and that bites.
It's just sad.
A hippo. That's awesome. Judy wants a hippo. I watched. There's a Reddit thread I think called "Damn That's Interesting," and I think that's what it's called. And they have random videos and they're fun to watch, but they often have videos of hippos like eating melons. What? And it's like hypnotic to watch. So just watch a hippo sit there and just chomp on a big watermelon. It's fun to watch. So I get the hippo, Judy. I think that's awesome.
So whenever I hear watermelon, all I can think of is Gallagher.
Yep. So. Slapping those with hammers. Come on, Danelle. She wants a stegosaurus. I clearly said what the rules were. No animals that are no longer in the group. You can't say dodo bird. That's not how this works. Baby elephant.
You're so strict.
I am. So, Jonna, do you want a baby elephant for the size? And if so, what do you do when it grows? Like, is it just going to be like a pygmy elephant and stay small the whole time?
Well, this is a fake scenario, so it's just going to stay a baby elephant.
Okay, Jill wants a great white. That's badass, Jill. Good for you. Selena wants to dress up her monkey like a kid, and he'd wear a nappy. I don't know what a nappy is.
This video is going to get flagged. It's going to be like, they're thinking that we're like some gang of...
poachers?
Yeah, like those people that sell exotic pets. We're all trying to claim our own pet.
Lord Lenny wants to be Dr. Evil because he wants a shark with a laser on its head.
Oh, we should see how many...
Oh, yeah, sure. We got to do the drawing. Yeah. A flying fox. Is that a real thing, Ian? Or are we talking like what's his name? Not Sky Fox. That cool N64 game where there's a fox that could fly planes. Star Fox. So are you talking about like Star Fox, or is there like actually an animal called the flying fox?
So
I've never heard of that.
Should I close the giveaway, or does anybody need to enter?
Yeah, so we're doing a giveaway for a free 14-inch Slidelock that has an upside-down logo on it because I wasn't paying attention. You have 3 minutes to... So at 8 o'clock Central or wherever you are, in the next 3 minutes, we are going to shut off the ability to enter, and then we will do the drawing. So if you haven't entered now, please go to the show notes or the description. There's a link in there that you can click on. There's 4 questions. Basically just who are you, what's your name, and what's your shipping address. And there may be one other there. Fill that out, but you have 3 minutes to do that. Let's see. Brown bear, shark blazer, a goat, flying fox, tiger, or a giraffe. Giraffe would be an interesting one.
Oh, that makes me think of that movie.
Yeah, where the giraffe gets decapitated.
Yeah.
Anteater, that's an interesting one. Red panda. Red panda is also one of those things that I've heard is vicious. Maybe it's just all pandas. I know pandas are marsupials. I don't know if red pandas are.
I don't even know what that means.
A raccoon. Oh, so Rebel has had a raccoon, a rabbit, and a rooster. Interesting.
Do you live on a farm?
Yeah, Rebel, do you live on a farm? Or do you just like keep a rooster around for kicks? Baby rhino. I do like baby rhinos. Are cool animals for sure. Hippos do kill a lot of humans. They're very dangerous, but... oh, a nappy is a diaper. Okay, so she'd put a diaper on her monkey if she had one. A real pink squirrel instead of the imaginary ones that invade her stitching cottage. Let's see. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it. I miss my beard because normally I'd be doing this right now, but instead I'm doing this because I have no hair.
Is she the one person that says she missed your beard?
No, she didn't say she missed it. She said it looks better without it.
Oh. Well, you said thank you, so I was like...
Well, she complimented, so
yeah.
I figure I had to.
It was no secret that I was not a fan, but it's his face, so if he wanted to have it, he could. But I was very excited when he finally agreed to shave it off.
Yeah. Oh, Flying Foxes are bats. Okay, I like bats because Batman is my favorite superhero, although there's a very good logical argument to say he's not actually a superhero, he's just a hero, but that's for another time. Sherry says, whatever it is, it has to be house trained.
Yeah, right.
So, yes, I agree. Adult female elephant and her baby, and watch the baby grow. But elephants need a lot of other elephants around. That's true, they are pack animals.
So then you have to have a whole zoo of them.
Rebel said I don't think she currently lives on a farm, but she grew up on a ranch.
Oh, okay. It's like, that's a lot of stuff to have.
Yeah,
if you live in
a meerkat, koala bear. Hi, Sue. Welcome from Canberra. We're not in Canberra. You are, but welcome. She's just doing this type of quilting, so she said it's very useful to see how you do it. A pink sloth. That would be interesting. I would like to have a dolphin. That would be fun, too. I do like dolphins.
They seem like they could be, like, so smart. Like, training them and stuff would be really fun.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone should be entered. Let me see. Where do I go to see?
I'll probably have to look
because I think you're signed into it.
Yeah, so I'll see how many they have, but just find a
I
random
am.
number generator.
I got it.
So while we do this, I have to say, this morning I was very disturbed since we're talking about like all these animals and different things. I saw a news article about a 10-year-old who got bit by a shark in the Bahamas.
Yes, it was in the Bahamas.
And he was in one of those shark cage experiences. I'm like, oh my God, I would never get in one of those. So let me know if you've gotten a shark cage before, or if you 62. So, or if you would, because that is not something I would ever do. So,
okay.
1 to 62, and then he's gonna draw a random number between there, and I'll look and see what form number that is.
It's number 2, actually.
Number 2. So that is Sean.
Oh, awesome.
The guy who sews.
And I'm pretty sure he's in there, but Sean, the countdown has started. You've got 3 minutes to tell us you're still on the chat.
Who's at the door?
That I don't know.
It's too late.
Okay, yeah, Sean's here. He said he would like to try the shark cage, but would probably pee his pants.
I could never do something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Okay, good. Sean, I think I already have your address, although I think you probably have to fill it out. So I will get this sent out to you in the next day or two, probably tomorrow, because I think I've got a bunch of packages we need to drop off anyway.
And on the next live, I want to do, because a lot of people have said that they would love to take on some of my unfinished quilt tops and different things. So I'm planning to go through those and do a giveaway where it's like a box that has some of the projects that I get from different subscription boxes and like a quilt top or something. So there'll be that there. next week. Hopefully, I can get that all organized and have a mystery box type thing.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know about the shark thing. Like, I don't mind jumping out of a plane, and like I actually enjoy it. It's fun. But I don't know that I'd want to willingly put myself in harm's way with an animal that I cannot control and hope that the metal bars that I did not make were strong enough. Like, if I could make my own shark cage, I'd be much more comfortable. But
I would still.
I don't
not.
get the. I just don't like the type of adrenaline that I like is jumping out of planes, is doing things like that. But being around a dangerous animal that could kill me is not my idea of the adrenaline that I want.
I feel like there's some things in nature you're supposed to have a healthy respect for.
Yeah. Or I know there's a lot of people in Florida that there's places you can do to like go underwater and be with alligators, but what they do is they feed the alligators like a ton of food, and then an hour later they let you go in. So the alligators just have no inclination to do anything at all because they're all fat and fed and happy. So it's actually relatively safe to be around them because unless you start poking them in the eye, they're just not going to give a shit about you. But
they tend to not anyway. Like, I've been around them so many times growing up in Florida. Usually when they're out sunbathing and stuff, they're just, as long as you don't mess with them, they're not going to do anything. I think they're completely different than crocodiles.
Yes, and here's a question, right? Very, very probably off the wall, and I bless you. Hopefully, I'm not the only one. Otherwise, you guys think I'm weird. But so I was a swimmer all my life through high school, and I could have been a swimmer in college, but I had to choose a sport, and I decided to play baseball instead of swimming. But because I was a swimmer, I swam all the time. A lot of times, I was by myself and just doing laps. Anyone else when they were younger? Swimming by themselves, just going on and just immediately think, oh my God, there's a shark behind me that's about to eat me. Because I thought that like
in a pool?
all the time. Yeah, I'm in a pool, I'm doing laps, and I like immediately like jerk and be like, oh my God, there's a shark behind me. And there never was, obviously. Maybe that was just me, but
in a pool.
Yeah, I'm in a pool.
In an ocean or something.
I was in a pool. So I'm curious to know if I'm the only one that has ever had that particular vision, or if that was just me.
You're very brave to tell that story.
Whatever. I'm an open book. So Charlene, we actually on our honeymoon we went whale watching, and it was really fun. Although I'm not gonna get into that story.
Oh man.
I think we told it once before. We'll talk about it some other time. But it was actually really cool. I enjoyed it. So we have gotten to live in a lot of places. That is true. And my favorite state to live in, Michigan.
You will disagree with me on mine.
Oh no.
No, I love Michigan. I would move back there in a heartbeat. This is probably my least favorite place that we have ever lived. I think you probably agree, although you've lived more places than I have. So
yeah.
But I think like your Middle East excursions and Colombia stuff probably shouldn't count as.
No, I would not choose to live in Colombia ever again. That's not something. Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. Selena says all the time she had that premonition. And guess who Nancy did? She felt the same way. And Tracy said that she wouldn't go into a pool unless it was day and she could see what was in the pool.
I can see that for sure.
So, like, I'm not the only one.
I don't like being in water that I can't see, like, what's around me.
Yeah, Alexander's so good. I'm not the only one. I'm not sure if that makes me feel better or worse, but that's funny. So Michigan. So if I had to rate the states that I've lived in, I would go Michigan number 1, Colorado 2, What would be 3? Arizona 3. Then I would go Florida 4. And Washington 5, Oregon 6, Illinois 7, and California 8. Although I feel like I'm missing somewhere. I know I've lived somewhere else. That's probably my initial list. But Michigan and Colorado were tight. I really liked Colorado. I like being in the mountain time zone. There's something about that time zone that really appeals to me. I know that's weird, but it does. I think it's a beautiful state, and I think I could retire there. There's just some things that, like, the Colorado I knew when I lived there is very different than the Colorado that exists today, and so that is something that militates toward Colorado. But Michigan for sure, I think, would be number 1.
I really loved living in California because of the weather. I thought it was really beautiful. We were near mountains, and then, I don't know. I felt like the temperature didn't fluctuate as much, and I felt like that was really nice. I just couldn't move back there because, just the cost to live there is just so insane. So that would be the only drawback for me, really. And then, so my top would probably be Michigan, where we lived, because you can afford to live there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and we would move, if it weren't for the fact that our daughter played at the level of soccer she plays, and she's on a very good team, and she has friends here, we would move in a heartbeat. But we don't want to uproot her, which means we have 2 more years here, at which point she'll go off to college and play soccer there, and we can move wherever we want. Because that's how things go. But that's also an interesting thing too. Like, when we get to the point where we're able to move, we'll probably take a vacation back to where we want to live in Michigan and make sure it's still everything we hoped it was. We went back earlier.
Things change so fast in places.
I know, but we went back to Michigan just a couple months ago, and it was everything we remembered it to be. So who knows what it's going to be in 2 years, but I really want to live in a college town just because we collectively, the 2 of us, we like to go to sporting events, and when you live next to a big university like Ann Arbor and University of Michigan, you pay $5 or $6 for a ticket, and you get to go watch all the sports. They've got 20 some odd sports teams, and it's just fun because I think college sports are more fun to watch because those kids actually, like, they're not, well, I guess now they're sort of getting paid, but they're out there because they love the game and because they're good at it, and it's fun to watch. And so I really enjoy it. So big college town's probably somewhere in the mix wherever we move. But
And I need a hockey team so I can go.
yeah, well, and that's the other thing about Michigan, especially the Detroit, Ann Arbor area, is the U.S. National Development Team. So that the U.S. hockey team for the 18 and under, they're based in Plymouth, Michigan. And so you can go and watch them play. And again, $5 or $10 a ticket. But you're watching, like, we watched 3 or 4 different #1 overall picks in the NHL draft play when they were in high school because they all play there. And they're fun games to watch. They're brutal. Those kids fight. I mean, it's just like watching the NHL, but you're much closer to the rink. And they care much more about it because they're trying to get to the NHL, and almost all of them will. And they're competing to get as much money as possible when they do get to the NHL. So it's fun to watch. Yeah, exactly, Carrie. The things we do for our kids. I 100% agree. Oh, hey, Ian, I don't know if you're still here. I'm going to send you something that I think may help you figure out what you're doing. I'll send it to you tonight if I remember. But I came across it and was like, oh, this would be a really good thing for you to look at and figure out where you want to go. Yeah, the stadium in Ann Arbor is gorgeous. Our stadium is amazing. But all the, I mean, look, Michigan's a huge endowment university, so soccer stadium is amazing.
Yeah.
Baseball fields are great. I mean, the ice rink, Yost Arena is glorious.
Their whole facility is really nice, like for the athletes, because we got to tour it when we were there because our daughter was going to like a
recruiting camp, a college IT camp. But yeah, we got to go through.
It was very impressive.
They took us through the entire facility for the soccer team. We got to see the weight room. We got to see the training room. We got to see the room where they watch film. It was a really cool experience. I think she really liked it. I know she really liked it. She's done that with a couple of different colleges now. And Ann Arbor, I think, was her second favorite. She liked the University of Northern Iowa. It was really fun to do that.
I was really surprised when y'all came back and she said that was probably her favorite.
Yeah,
I thought she would just be like, because of how much she likes Michigan, that she would just favor that.
Yeah, I went to Michigan. We lived in Michigan. We lived in Ann Arbor. So we just sort of always assumed that she'd want to go there. And if she's good enough to get a scholarship there, maybe she will. But we went to a bunch of different schools have invited her out. And we went to one at University of Northern Iowa. And neither of us knew anything about the school because we just didn't. But she really liked the facilities there. She liked the coach. She liked the players. So I think that's at the top of her list right now. But we'll see because we've got a bunch of other ones that we need to go to. But,
sorry, I know we're over on how long we're normally on, but I'm so close to finishing this. I'm like, why not?
Jonna, it was good that you never went to an Ohio State football game. You just would have been disappointed if you had.
You only went to one football game though in Michigan when.
So I'm not football is one of my favorite sports, but I like watching it on the couch because you get a better viewing experience. Like going and watching a game in a college stadium there's an atmosphere there. It's like I want to watch the game. Like I'm not there for the atmosphere. I'm there to watch the football, and it's so hard to do that when you're in a stadium that seats 114,000 or whatever we seat. Let's see. I agree, Charlene. Yeah, hockey is definitely an experience. If you haven't gone, you definitely need to. So, Catherine, I went to Michigan, so say go blue to your mom for me. Hail to the victors since we won the national championship. Who left the fridge open?
Lorelai, I'm guessing.
Sorry, I can hear my fridge beeping because someone left it open.
It sounded like she was in there making something.
Yeah. There we go. I just had to send a group text to the whole family telling someone to go shut it. Let's see. Oh, good. I didn't know you liked the Wings, Becca. That's awesome. We're Wings fans. We used to have season tickets when we lived in Michigan.
She grew up in Detroit, I believe.
Oh, I did not know this. See, why are you hyping this stuff?
I don't. You just don't listen.
That's funny. Dr. Kathy Smith says she loves college games because of the bands. I'm not as interested in the game. I get that. Are you almost done, baby?
Yeah, I have probably two more rows
Okay.
to do. I know, we're tired. I seriously, and this is not a joke, have probably been going to bed around 8:30 every single night this week.
She's lying. She goes to bed at like 7:15.
You keep saying that, but I'm pretty sure I stayed up till like 8:30 last night.
No. Last night she went to bed. Oh, no, it was the night before you
Yeah,
went
the
to
night
bed.
before I went, because you were watching football.
Yeah, she went to bed at like 8:05. Not even joking. Oh, that's funny, Ian. He said yay sports talk.
Aw. There's gotta be one you like. I can't. The only sport I cannot watch is basketball.
Yeah, I like watching college basketball, but you just can't deal with the shoes.
That squeaking sound of the shoes, I just cannot. I cannot at all. I I am okay with football, but it's not my favorite because I say I don't understand it, but half the time I know what's going on when you're watching. I can't tell where the football is ever. So it's like once everything's finalized, then I'm like, oh, that happened. But
That's just because you don't want to know. Like, you're not invested enough. We can watch hockey on TV and you can follow along, and it's a lot harder to follow a puck than it is a football. So,
Well.
you have the capability, you just refuse to use it.
maybe.
It's true.
I heard someone once describe football as like a game that toddlers had to have invented, and that stuck with me because it's like you get a chance and then you don't get it, so you keep getting a chance, you keep getting, and I'm like, yeah, that really, I mean, I feel that.
Wait, there are rules, Shannon, in pro basketball? I was unaware of this. I just thought that was a free-for-all the way that they play the game. So Susan, I have wanted to go to a Kraken game because when they announced that there was going to be a hockey team in Seattle, and they had announced a list of like 8 names that they were going to choose, and 2 of my best friends live in Seattle, and I said, dude, if they named them the Kraken, because that's what I wanted it to be named, like we need to go to a game, and I still haven't made good on that. I've been busy, but I want to go to a Kraken game only because they're called the Kraken. That's one of the greatest names for a hockey team ever. The Red Wings are awesome. They're definitely my favorite team. Although I grew up as a Sharks fan because that's, I don't know why actually, but I was a
Where
big
were
fan of the
they?
Sharks. What was that? San Jose.
Oh, so then probably.
I hated the Avalanche, but that was I again don't know why either because I lived in Colorado, but I just never liked the Avalanche. So Gina, her shirt says, "Touch my machine, my sewing machine, and I will slap you so hard Google won't even be able to find you."
My mom got it for me for Christmas, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
One more row.
So, Jackie, I don't know if you know this. Or maybe I'm wrong, but like Ian, don't you already live in a hockey town? Like you're not in hockey town, which is Detroit, but I'm pretty sure the Stars are up there where you are. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know where you live, but I'm 90% sure you're technically in a hockey town. Yeah. Okay. So just making sure. Is this the last one, or do you have one more?
Last one.
Nice. So all you have to do is bind this one now?
Yeah, trim it and bind it.
Nice. So that'll be 6 done. Oh, someone asked earlier, I apologize. So of the 74 unfinished projects that she had at the beginning of the year, she's finished 5. And this will be number 6. And I see number 7 over there getting ready to just be quilted.
Yep. And then the one, you can't see it because that fabric's over it on the table. That's one that I'm donating to the Linus project.
Oh, awesome.
I might, this one too, I need to get with the lady and see if this size will work.
So Becca, no, that's incorrect. The Texas should have a hockey team, but it should be in Houston so that I can watch them because I'm not driving to Dallas. Excuse me. That's like Florida has 2 hockey teams. Like, how's that happen? Like, and we used to live in Tampa and we go to the Lightning games all the time too, but yeah. Alexandra says when you're done quilting, you should stand up so everyone can see your shirt better.
Okay. There we go. Another one done. Okay. Oh. I don't know why, but I sew with my shoes off, but I had to put them back on to stand up.
Well, don't you have a shirt or something that says something like, I drive barefoot and, what was it?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I
There we
thought
go. I think it's in. Yeah, it's in. It's not up on there yet.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Excuse me.
You're picking on me and you're yawning more than
I didn't say I was staying up much past you. I was just saying that you're falling asleep at 8 or whatever.
All right, but another one. Well, it's not done. I can't really say it's done, but quilted. Yay! Ooh, the colors look pretty on there. I didn't even.
It does, yeah. No, it does. Well, it looks really good in person too.
It looks better on there.
Well, it's just because of the reflection, but
yeah.
All right, all. It was very fun. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations, Sean, for the winning the
Upside down one.
yeah.
That's not even our same logo. Well,
It's the same logo.
Yeah, but that's with the one we were stamping, not when you were lasering it.
That's how old it is.
Good, yeah. That's
although Sean doesn't already have. I feel like he already has one. Does he not? I mean, it doesn't matter.
No,
you win
he
it
has,
nonetheless.
I think he has the 24-inch,
okay.
not the 14. Because you put a logo on that one for him.
Oh, that's right. I did his logo.
We won't be able to do that on this one because
sorry, Sean. It's already built. I can't take it apart. Either way, thank you all for joining us. Next week, same time, same bat channel, and by next week these should be up in the shop. So I will let you know next week when they are, because they should be. Yeah. So otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see you all later.
Next week.
Yes,
Bye.
okay.